And welcome back to Naples, everybody. Dave Benz hanging out with Larry and Mike. Right now, let's get it down to the fourth member of our broadcast crew, Mackenzie Thurkill, down on the beach. Mackenzie?
Thanks, guys. Now, in this race, it purely comes down to rider ability. All the watercrafts that these guys are on are straight out of the box with 0 modifications, which means you at home can just as easily go out to your local Sea-Doo dealership and go out on one of these bad boys in the water, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Mackenzie. And that is one of the great attractions to this sport, is that you can feel like you can just go out and do it. Now, going out and buying the personal watercraft, getting it out of the water is one thing. Racing it at the level these guys are doing it at is a whole nother animal.
Well, you know, it's very good for the manufacturers, whether you're on a Yamaha, Sea-Doo, those makes, Kawasaki. It's good for the manufacturers to be able to know that people can go to the dealer, purchase a machine, and there is a place that if you have the inclination you want to race, there's a spot to do it, and we're doing it right here in Naples, Florida.
And a little bit later, we will see the GP class, and that means you can modify it any way that you want, and that changes things entirely.
That is a whole different animal. That is essentially the unlimited class, and you'll see runabouts out there well in excess of 400 horsepower. It's a whole different animal.
And you see Dyckowski, who had the pole position, got the whole shot, and continues to lead right now over Tim Ducat, riding in second pretty much the entire way, followed by Eric Francis, and trying to make his way to the podium. Brent Venderley is still hanging in, but some ground to be gained if he's going to get to the podium.
Well, yesterday we watched these riders qualify as they reach for that qualifying position to try to find their spot online. Now, what's exciting about this style of racing is that this is the main event. It's not moto style. We're not adding motos together to get an overall winner. This race is it.
And we've got less than 2 minutes remaining before they'll take out the white flag to indicate that it will be the final lap. They go for 10 minutes and then go to a final lap after that. So it is a little bit of an endurance race and a little bit of a mental game that you have to play as well.
Very much so. Like Mike was saying, you know, these guys, a lot of them have ridden other races earlier in the week. They've run qualifiers yesterday, but it all comes down to today. So you've got that added mental pressure to go along with everything else.
Dyckowski, still your leader on the number 8 machine out of Rydell, Georgia, as he works his way through the right chicane. Tim Ducat trying to close that gap on the 149, and then Eric Francis on the 37 machine. Now, interestingly enough, we're looking at a Yamaha, a Kawasaki, and a Sea-Doo. So 3 of the major manufacturers being represented in the top 3 here, Dave.
Yeah, all of them happy to be getting on the podium, but all of them hoping to see them get their guy atop the podium. As we close in under a minute to go, and it will be soon that white flag comes out to indicate the final lap to crown the world champion here in Pro-Am Runabout Box Stock.
So we look at the front of the pack moving up on the back of the pack. Now Dyckowski still hard charging off that outside split with Ducat following, but look at Eric Francis off the inside. Going to give Ducat a run for his money. Ducat with enough momentum on that 149 machine to hold off Eric Francis.
Second straight lap in which Francis has taken that inside split to try and gain some ground, but Ducat continues to hold him off.
Well, you got to talk about forearm pump, because when you go to run that inside split, the turns are a little bit tighter, the water gets a little bit rougher that is, and the washboard effect starts to play a factor, so that gives that forearm pump. These guys are getting tired.
This is about the part of the race where you're starting to really look for that white flag.
Yeah, that white flag really starts to look good as fatigue sets in. You've run lap after lap after lap. Now, you'll see the blue and yellow flag out. That means that you are a lap rider. You're about to go down to the front of the pack. White flag out now. Just 1 lap to go for Jeff Dyckowski, and he can pick himself up a win here in Pro-Am Runabout Box Stock and a world championship.
Dyckowski looks to be in control. Ducat firmly in second. Francis right now firmly in third as we hit our final lap here on Lake Avalon. Pro-Am Runabout Box Stock World Championship race. Dyckowski looking to add to his already impressive list of credentials as this would be a third world title for him in his racing career.
Now, we had a rider go down. Anthony Radetic on the 153 machine spilled over on the right side. Our front of the pack had to negotiate their way around that rider and his machine that was in the way back to the front of the pack as they come off the left side. This will be to take the checkered flag. It is Dyckowski out in front on the outside split, followed by Ducat, and here comes Francis off the inside.
And there it is, Dyckowski crossing first, followed by Ducat in second, and Francis finishing on the podium in third.
I'm here with Jeff, aka Jaws. Now, you were leading majority of the race. At what point did you know that you were in the lead and that you were going to win this?
After 5 seconds.
Fair enough, fair enough. What's going through your head, though, that last 2 minutes or so?
The last 2 minutes, pray for patience. Oh, Lord, give me patience, and damn it, hurry up.
All right, well, thank you, Jeff, and congratulations.
One more look at the final results from Pro Runabout Box Stock Class. Jeff Dyckowski, a runaway winner, an impressive performance. One champion has been crowned. More to come here on CBS Sports Network.